Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum all. The hour of heroism. Now we are back with the chapter explanation, and I'm your English teacher, Mrs. Kausar Imran. Introduction paragraph. True heroism is not the urge to surpass all others at whatever cost, but the urge to serve others at whatever cost. This is said by famous African American tennis star Arthur Ashe. Okay, the in commas over here, the commas you can see are telling us that this is something said by some person. Okay, true heroism, actual true heroism. What is true heroism? People do love to talk about who is hero. Even you say that maybe some famous actor is hero, but no, it's not so. A true hero is someone who help others. So this is not something that we talk about like we are having some kind of desire. Urge means desire or wanting. To surpass means go above, leaving others behind. This is not the idea behind it, that you leave the others behind, you leave the others below you. No, this is not the true heroism. True heroism is not to make other people go down and you coming up. No, at whatever cost means whatever you need to sacrifice. You want yourself to be at the top and you want others to be at the bottom. Then this is not the true heroism. The true heroism is the urge, the wanting, the desire to serve others at whatever cost. Whatever sacrifices you need to give, whatever happen, you need to serve others, means help others, work for others. Next, read the following account. Account is written in red color, you can see. Account means detail happening. Whatever was happening, it's written in detail. Of heroism in the face of one of the worst natural disaster. Natural disaster means something bad, extremely terrible, extremely bad happening naturally. It's not something done by some men. Like if it's a bomb explosion, it's done by some men. Some people are planning to do it. Okay? But natural disasters are from God, from Allah. You cannot avoid it. So natural disaster, one of the worst natural disaster that the 21st century had witnessed. In the 21st century, this happened. It's the tsunami that struck on 26 December 2004, which illustrated his statement. What I would like to suggest over here, because this is an introduction, I would like all of you to, after watching this video, after watching this presentation, you can search on internet some videos, some specific videos of 26 December 2004 tsunami. You will actually see the happening on that day, what actually happened, the footage that are captured by some hotel cameras, CCTV cameras, or maybe some person who was having their mobile phone in their hands and they were somewhere hidden, or maybe somewhere at safe place, and they have captured the whole thing. It was really terrible. You will be surprised to see what happened actually then. When tsunami hit the areas, the countries, what happened there, you will be surprised and shocked to see what happened. So why this famous African American tennis star said this, that it's not the part where you want yourself to be at the top by leaving others behind. No, that's not the true heroism. The true heroism is when you are trying your best. You are sacrificing everything of yours to save someone, to help someone. And this is what happened on 26 December 2004. Okay? Illustrated word means show. Statement means sentence. Now, paragraph 1. The tsunami which left 250,000 dead or missing in Asia. We don't know what happened to them. Whether they were saved somewhere or what happened. If we found them, their dead body, then we got to know, okay, they have died. Otherwise, they were missing because of such great wave coming inside the land area and then sweeping everything back with it. The tsunami was almost unimaginably destructive. Unimaginably means you cannot imagine. One cannot imagine how destructive it was, how many things it has destroyed. And I would like all of you to notice the sentence, that the sentence is having the tsunami and then there is a comma, and we have got another part of the sentence that is which left 250,000 dead or missing in Asia. This part is separated by 2 commas, one at the beginning and one at the end. And if we just remove this part, we get the actual sentence. The tsunami was almost unimaginably destructive. So, which left 250,000 dead or missing in Asia, it was actually describing tsunami. Okay, what happened? So, this is actually a clause. What is it? A clause. We will be discussing clauses afterwards. So, you just need to keep this in mind, that this kind of sentence which is inserted in between a sentence with the help of 2 commas is called as a clause if it is having subject and verb. Okay? Alright, next. After the water receded. Receded means went back. First, the big wave was formed because of the earthquake. Then it came ashore. Ashore means on the land, hitting everything that comes in the way. And then it went back into the sea. Okay? So when it receded in Indonesia, Banda Aceh, the most devastated city means destroyed city. In Indonesia, this city was the most destroyed city. It really resembled Hiroshima after it really. The most devastated city resembled Hiroshima. Now, this Hiroshima is actually, it was a city in Japan which suffered with the first atomic bomb. Okay, by US, and it was like completely finished. So over here we can say that this Indonesia city, Banda Aceh, also resembled Hiroshima, just like only a few buildings survived, only few buildings which were able to stay and suffer the whole thing, they were left. Corpses were piled. Corpses means the dead bodies were piled on the street, one upon another, just bundles and bundles like that. And in pickup trucks, the pickup trucks were there, and they came to collect all the dead bodies, because there was no one who can actually do all the rest of the rituals that are done by when someone is dying. someone dies in the family. So pickup trucks were sent. This happened, I'm sorry to relate it to the COVID-19 also. This happened in some of the countries where you might have seen on the news that some ambulances or pickup trucks were sent to collect the dead bodies from the street, because now the number were too high. Yet, still, amid means in the middle of this grief, sadness, and loss when you are losing something, and mortal danger. Mortal danger means the danger which can kill someone. Mortal means it is the danger which is having the life and death situation. Ordinary individuals, normal, common people, individual mean people over here, like Irwin and Jack, they proved themselves capable of extraordinary courage and selflessness. Like normal people in this sadness, in the middle of sadness and the loss and definitely the danger, still some common people were there like Irwin and Jack, that they not only did show some courage, extraordinary bravery, but also they show the true essence of heroism, means the true idea of heroism, that what actual a hero should be, what kind of qualities a hero should have. Because they did not think about their own life. They showed selflessness. They didn't show selfishness. They didn't think about their own self, their own life, but they helped others. Now we are going to actually read about Irwin and Jack at the time of tsunami. Paragraph 2. A common human reaction to the trauma of a natural disaster is paralysis. Normally it happens that when something like a natural disaster is there, in earthquake, in tsunami, or in any problem, even at the time of some accident also, it happens that because of the shock, people cannot move. They are normally speechless. They cannot move their body. Their mind just get mouth. They cannot do anything. So paralysis means, actual meaning is phalage, where your body cannot move. But over here it means that you cannot move your body. That could be because of the shock, because of the sudden shock that your mind is getting, because of that. But extraordinary, which is not very common. Ordinary means common, extraordinary means not very common. Events also evoke uncommon bravery. Evoke means started, initiated. Uncommon bravery means which is not very common again. A bravery by someone which is not common. Now we are talking about Irwin. Irwin, a 37-year-old flower seller. What is the profession of this man? Flower seller. Yes, he sells flower. He was riding home on his motorbike when the 26th December tsunami hit. Now you just have to imagine that this 37-year-old man, most probably around the age of your father, he was riding home on his motorbike, okay, on this date when this tsunami hit. He found safety, okay. Somehow he got to some place where safety was ensured, okay, because the water has already hit the place. So maybe he's at the top of some building, or maybe at the top of some bridge or somewhere, but he found safety, like with 100 of others on the humpback bridge. Humpback bridge means it's a bridge which is really like it goes at the top, round in shape, and then goes down. Okay, it's a bridge arched above the swollen river. Swollen river means because the sea water has come to the land, so the river has got a lot of water, and that water was coming out of it. Swollen means sood jana, but over here you are not talking about some part of your body that have swollen. It's about river. This means a lot of water was there inside the river, and they were standing at the top of the rivers. There was a bridge, and he, with a lot of other people, he was also standing on that bridge. Paragraph 2 continues. The black water looked like heavy mud, he recalls. Recalls word we are going to get in this chapter again and again. Recalls means he is thinking back and he is talking about it. When you need to talk about what happened last year, then you recall what happens last year, right? Last year this happened, then this happened, then this happened. So you are actually recalling the events. You are thinking back and telling again what happened actually. So you are recalling. So what he's telling us, that the black water looked like heavy mud. The black water of the river. In the river, there was all black colored water and it was like heavy mud. Why it was heavy mud? Because river is normally a flowable water, having flowable water. This looked like heavy mud because it was filled with corpses. Corpses means dead bodies, cars, dead animals. All these things were there. There was so much rubble. Rubble means a lot of, gargling sound and grum, 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 that you could hardly see the water. It was all bubbling up and everything is coming up and going down, and a lot of pressure in the water was there, rubble. That's why you cannot see actually the water. Suddenly, the crowd on the bridge heard a faint cry. Faint means very light, very slight. Cry. Cry means shout. Papa, Papa. And Irwin scanned the river. Scanned the river means he searched the river from where they are getting the sound. I missed one word, crowd. Crowd means the 100 of people were standing on the bridge, so they made the crowd, okay? So when they heard the word Papa, Papa, Irwin scanned the river. He found in the river what could be wrong, but couldn't locate. He couldn't locate the source of the appeal. He couldn't find. Locate means find. The source of the appeal means who was calling this name, who was shouting, who was crying. Okay? Source means the person or the place or the thing. Appeal means request. So he could not find the requesting person who was shouting, Papa, Papa. A man standing next to him pointed. Look, there is a little girl over there. Just beside Irwin, there was another man. He showed him that, oh, look at that. There's a little girl over there. Paragraph 3. A child of about 3. About 3 means 3 years old. Hardly 3 years old. She was clinging to a wooden plank in the middle of the river. Wooden plank. Plank means a kind of a wooden piece. Straight piece. Wooden straight piece. Takhta. She was clinging. Clinging means very much, grabbing, kind of grabbing. Pakda hua tha tightly usne. There were so many men on the bridge. Now this is what Irwin is saying. So many people were there, so many men on the bridge, but nobody made a move. Nobody made a move. Made a move. Koi hila bhi nahi. This is collocation. Made a move, collocation. Collocation means two words that are adjusting with each other, okay? A policeman with a video camera contented himself with filming the girl. Irwin was shocked to see that a policeman, he was just happy with making a film. Contented means happy with making the film of the girl as she drifted by, because the wooden plank, the wooden part, the wooden piece was moving with the water, and the girl was clinging to it, and it was also moving with the water. So this policeman was very much happy. He did not even think about going down and helping the child in some way, and he was happy with just filming the girl. I realized, this is what Arvind is saying, I realized then that nobody was going to help. Nobody will help. So I ran to the riverside. First I went to the riverside and waded into the water. Waded into the water means went into the water and then tried to walk just like duck walks in water, wading, okay, chapak kind of. And it was filled with debris. It was filled with all kind of pieces of destroyed buildings, destroyed cars, anything like that. And my feet kept getting stuck in fishing nets. Fishing nets were also there. Machli pakadne ke jaal, fishing nets. So my feet were getting stuck in fishing nets also. Also he's saying that it was very difficult for him to reach there because of all the debris, all the things that were there in the water. And definitely with all the water that have come from the seaside, the water pressure in the river was too much. So it was very difficult for him to walk inside the water. Paragraph 3 continues. After struggling for nearly 15 minutes, he continued walking or wading towards the girl for 15 minutes. He reached the girl. Then he's saying that I yelled means shouted to the men on the bridge. I shouted to the men on the bridge to get the girl from me. He actually reached the girl and his feet were on the ground inside the water, and he was a big person, but the girl was just 3 years old and the girl was clinging to the wood. So now he was also getting tired. So he shouted on the men that please someone come and take the girl from me, because I was also getting tired. But again, no one moved. They were all shocked. I guess they were very scared. But I thought, who thought? Irwin. I would lose hold of her. This means with all the tiredness, with all the pressure of the water, most probably he thought that he is going to lose her hand or hold her hold. Then I saw a young man going into the water and paddling towards me, walking slowly towards me. I will never forget that moment in my life, that someone is there to help me. I will never forget his face. Okay, at this moment, he went down to help the girl. He himself went down to help the girl. But then when he's asking help from others, no one moved. One young man came towards him, and definitely he will never forget his face. Now, I stop here the explanation. Learn to Read to page number 49 is having some questions which are basically related to what we have discussed already. A quick recap that what we have read about tsunami, that tsunami hit on 26 December 2004, what is true heroism, and now we are talking about Irwin, who is 37-year-old flower seller, and how he is trying to save the girl. We don't know if the girl is saved or not, but we just recently got to know that now Irwin is not alone. Some other person, a young man, is also there to help him. Okay. The question number 1A on page number 49 is tick the correct option. The writer compares Band Aceh to Hiroshima because number 1, they are both an island in the Indian Ocean, or they were both devastated by terrible calamities, or atom bombs were dropped on both cities. What could be the word? What could be the answer? Yes, true. Number 2 is the correct answer because they were both devastated by terrible calamities. B question is, how do people generally react to a natural disaster? What happened to normally people when some natural disaster is there? How do they react? Can anyone say something about it? Yes, true. Trauma, shock. They are normally shocked and they are paralyzed. They don't do anything. Okay. Now we are having number C. How was Irwin and Jack's response uncommon and extraordinary? Now this Jack word we got in the beginning, and right now we can relate that young man's name must be Jack. So when in B question we have already got to know that people generally react to a natural disaster by becoming speechless, or by having paralysis, or by not moving because they are in shock or trauma. So how was Irwin and Jack's response different, uncommon, extraordinary? How can you say that? It was uncommon and extraordinary because they showed bravery. They showed courage. They showed selflessness. They did not think about their own safety, but they only thought how to help others. Number D. When Irwin called out to the people on the bridge, when Irwin called out, shouted, yelled to the people on the bridge, they did not respond. Why? Because they were scared. They were shocked. They were scared. Okay? This is the end of our lesson. What you need to do, we have already discussed the question answers. Question number 1, 2, 3, and 4. A, B, C, D. 4 questions. You are going to give the heading of Learn to Read 2, page 49 in your copy, and write down the question one after another and answer them as we have discussed just now. Okay? Inshallah, we'll meet again and with the rest of the explanation to find out whether the girl was saved or not. Allah Hafiz.